stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison.
So let's begin.
Mr. Musgrove, you want to come up to the podium, please. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Joseph Musgrove, file number 23-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, this is a date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that he was appearing on his own behalf. I did verify he is not an attorney, and you are still the attorney of record. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you.
Before we go any further, let's slow this down and really understand what just walked into this courtroom. Because what you're about to witness is not just another routine hearing. This is the collision between fantasy and reality. On one side, you have Judge Anzalone, a veteran jurist who has heard every legal argument imaginable. On the other side, you have Brian Musgrove, a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen who believes the law doesn't apply to him, even though his standing in the middle of a felony courtroom facing decades in prison. Sovereign citizen ideology is built on one dangerous lie, that words, spelling, and secret legal phrases can magically erase criminal liability. These people genuinely believe that if they reject their all-caps name, they somehow become immune from prosecution. And the terrifying part? They cling to this belief even when they're accused of real crimes with real victims. This isn't a traffic ticket. This is not a paperwork dispute. This man is charged with embezzling nearly $70,000 from his employer, and he's about to learn, in the harshest way possible, that no amount of courtroom cosplay will save him. Watch closely, because Judge Anzalone isn't just going to shut this down, she's going to dismantle it piece by piece. And what makes this case even more brutal is that the law is crystal clear, while the defendant couldn't be more lost.
So,
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case. I
don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off.
Right here is where the fantasy world of sovereign citizens crashes straight into a concrete courtroom wall. Musgrove thinks he's walking in with some kind of secret legal cheat code, all caps name, corporate fiction, private court, all of that nonsense you see spread across fringe websites and YouTube channels. But Judge Anzalone doesn't even let it breathe. She immediately tells him none of it is real law, none of it has any legal standing, and none of it strips the court of jurisdiction. This is important because sovereign citizens rely on one thing, hesitation. They need judges, clerks, or officers to pause or get confused. The second that happens, they think they've won. But this judge shuts it down with absolute authority. She's saying, you're here, you're charged, and the court has power over you. There is no magic phrase. No hidden loophole. Just reality. And you can hear the shock in Musgrove's voice when he realizes this script isn't working.
We have budgets. The court system is not a profit-generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected, people who are victims of crimes are protected, and that's why we have all
But in order
these.
for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim
because
would be the company. and the
you are
company-
charged.
I can't face. the
Actually,
company.
just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count one with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years.
This moment is crucial because Musgrove tries another classic sovereign citizen move, claiming everyone in the courtroom has a financial interest in his case. That's straight out of the conspiracy handbook. The idea is to paint the judge, the prosecutor, and even the defense attorney as corrupt actors in some secret profit-making system. But Judge Anzalone responds with something far more powerful than sarcasm, logic. She explains that she gets paid the same whether Musgrove is convicted, acquitted, or the case is dismissed. That completely destroys the conspiracy narrative. And she's right, the only person with money on the line here is the defendant, because losing this case means losing years of his life. This is what happens when ideology meets a courtroom. It falls apart under even the smallest amount of scrutiny.
You're charged in count two with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count one, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
And here's the bombshell that Musgrove clearly did not want to hear. This is not some victimless paperwork issue. The judge lays out the charges in plain language, nearly $70,000 in embezzlement. That means a real business lost real money because of what he allegedly did. That instantly destroys one of the central pillars of sovereign citizen mythology, which is that crimes only exist if there's a flesh and blood person standing in court. Corporations, businesses, and organizations are legally recognized victims, and Musgrove is accused of stealing from one that now is not just some misunderstood rebel. He's a man facing up to 25 years in prison because of financial crime. And you can almost hear the panic starting to creep in.
I have $189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they can. Yes,
They're
you
going
can
by
be charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
for
legal.
corporations. They're for fictitious.
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is dead.
That means nothing. That's not valid. It's
Okay.
not legal.
right.
So, do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm going to set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing from Mr. Musgrove?
Watch how Musgrove tries to dodge again by saying the company can't testify because it isn't a person. That's another sovereign citizen myth, and the judge shuts it down immediately. Businesses act through representatives. They can testify. They can be victims. And they absolutely can press charges. This is not obscure law. This is basic legal structure. When you form a corporation or an LLC, the law treats it as its own entity. That's why you need lawyers. That's why contracts exist. And that's why stealing from a business is no different than stealing from an individual. Musgrove isn't outsmarting anyone, he's exposing just how unprepared he is.